what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another checklist vlog. Like the title says, we are going to check out the Goonies filming locations. I know it's been a while since my last video, but let's get right into it and I'll meet up with you after. Alright you guys, I am out front of the Oregon Film Museum. This is what played the jail in the Goonies, where the Fratellis broke out at the beginning of the movie. It also was the interiors for the film, and we're going to check that out tomorrow once they open. But let's go check out some of the exterior locations. Now you can see in this shot right here, I'll throw it up, the Jeep would have been parked right where this difference in the paving would have been. And they would have been sitting here as Francis was pouring the gas, waiting for his brother to come out that door and hop in the Jeep. And they would have pulled off right over here. I'll throw it up right here. And you would have seen as the police officers were standing right here in the middle of the fire as the Fratellis rode off into Astoria. So the next day when the film museum opened, we went and toured around. And I mean, walking through those doors, you're right in the first shots of the Goonies. You're walking right where the guard walked to go see Jake in his cell. You are standing in the cell, you're right there in the movie, and as a Goonies fan, it was amazing standing right in one of your favorite movies of all time. It was honestly magical. But this isn't just for the Goonies fan, this is for film fans in general. And what an awesome place to have the museum, right here in an actual location where one of the most famous movies of its decade was shot. And I dare you to try to find anybody who A, hasn't seen this movie, or B, after watching the movie, doesn't love it. But I think the part that I really loved was that you, the museum goer, right behind the wall of where one of your favorite movies was filmed, you can go film your own movie. You're encouraged to. They have all the gear for you. All the different techniques are shown to you on these little tablets. You can go shoot your own movie.
If God meant to do it that way, you'd all be pissing in your faces.
You guys ever heard of this guy like Chester Copperpot?
But I think making that accessible to people and showing people every little bit of the industry and how a movie gets made in the museum, it allows people to feel that much more closer to the movie industry. And it allows a love of the industry to blossom by giving them a chance to work in an actual set with their friends or family. Now, right across the street from the Oregon Film Museum is the Fluvel House, and this has a ton of history in the town of Oregon, but we won't be getting into that today. This is where Mikey's dad would have worked in the movie. You would have seen him right there at the flagpole, pulling up a flag as the Goonies drive down the hill after letting out all the air in Brand's brand new bike.
What? My new tires! They popped my new tires!
Alright you guys, we have made it to the Goonies house. There are a ton of exterior shots and interior shots filmed here on the property. I'll throw up a couple right here. Now that top window of the house, you can see Mikey peeking his head out right here. And this is also where the famous truffle shuffle scene took place. You can see here on the porch a ton of shots of the Goonies hanging out as Troy's dad comes and tries to get Mikey and Brand's dad to sign the paperwork.
Guys, I'm Mr. Perkins, Troy's father.
We know who Troy is. He's such a cheap guy.
My dad's not home, Mr. Perkins.
You can also see right down here, down this driveway, the Goonies ride off as they go to get One-Eyed Willie's treasure.
It's so hard when you wake up, your clothes are gonna be out of stock.
So the top of that house right here, this is Data's house. So the top window here is where Data would have zip-lined in and smashed the screen. I mean, going to this house is a bucket list thing for me. And I know in the past there's been a little bit of confusion with whether you are allowed to go up to the Goonies house. But I was talking to a local who works at a coffee shop, and they said that there's been a change of owner in the Goonies house. And this owner is a fan of the movies, and they love when Goonies fans come up to the house. All they ask is you don't cross a certain line on the property, as well as, keep it respectful with times, and don't drive a car up there, all on foot. Now, the locals say that they would prefer that you park a little bit further away from the house and walk up, just because the streets in Astoria are really narrow, and their biggest fear is that emergency vehicles won't be able to get up the hill and help people if they need fire trucks or ambulance or police, which is totally understandable. But yeah, so if you're going to check out the Goonies house, just keep that stuff in mind. Awesome experience. I suggest if you are a Goonies fan, just go to this town, man. You are in the movie. Now, our next location is the bowling alley, where Chunk stands in the window and he watches the police chase. He smashes his milkshake against the window with his pizza. And this bowling alley is totally awesome. You can stand right there. You see the same view Chunk would have got. And they have a little milkshake and a little slice of pizza sitting in the windowsill. And they allow you to go into the bowling alley and stand right where Jeff Cohen would have been standing. Alright you guys, so our next location is the Astoria Coffee Company, and this place is super awesome. They have a bunch of stickers, postcards, anything your heart really desires, whether it be for the town of Astoria or for the movies that were filmed there. And they have awesome coffee. You can grab a cup and check out this location where Rosalita is trying to walk across the street at the beginning of the movie, and the cops come and scare the crap out of her. But not much has changed at this location. It's still the same. You can totally tell it's the building. Just the usual, a coat of paint and a couple new signs are thrown up. But it's super awesome. You can line up the shot for shot right here. It's awesome. This is a perfect spot to grab a cup of coffee and check out that location. And it's only a 5-minute walk up to the Goonies house. So, I mean, you can check out this location, grab a cup, and head up to the Goonies house and check it out. So, bad news. Unfortunately, it's time for us to leave the beautiful town of Astoria, but the good news for us is we're heading to Ecola State Park and Cannon Beach, which is totally awesome. Let's get there. A lot of this stuff has been growing for over 40 years since this movie was made, so a lot of the shots are kind of hard to line up because of the tree growth and also the trees dying and falling down. So we're gonna line up some shots as much as we can, and yeah, let's get into it. Alright you guys, we've made it to Ecola State Park, and right here behind me, our first location here is where the Goonies pulled their bikes up the cliff here and came to see the Fratelli's hideout. Right over there. You can actually see the rock formation right behind their shoulders, right over here. So we are in the clearing here at Ecola State Park, and you can watch as the Goonies walk right past here to the restaurant over here. This right here would have been where the Goonies saw the Fratellis loading up the dead body after shooting it. And you can tell by the rock formations once again over their shoulders. Now this right here would have been where the Fratelli's restaurant once stood. It was not a permanent fixture, it was just put up by set deck and then torn down right after filming. But this is where the restaurant would have stood. Well, alright you guys, I think that's all we have for Ecola State Park. Let's get down to Cannon Beach and check out some more locations for the Goonies. Alright you guys, we have made it to Haystack Rock. This location is from the beginning where the Fratellis break out of the jail and they're running away from the cops. You can see this rock right behind them as they're entering a race that runs right down this beach. It's right here. Alright you guys, this location is where the Fratellis kick it into
Four-wheel drive and hold on to your hat.
and join the race after breaking Jake out of the prison. This location looks pretty much the same. Just over time, I think the building in the back is now a restaurant with more windows. The yellow paint line right here obviously has faded over time. And they built a little bridge over this little runoff of water, which is pretty cool. But you can definitely tell that it is the location. It still looks pretty much the same as it did in '85. Alright you guys, so after we saw the beautiful Haystack Rock on Cannon Beach, we decided we were going to head to California to get the last shot of the Goonies watching One-Eyed Willie's ship sail into the sunset. And also hit up San Francisco for a couple other shots for a video coming out soon. And on our way out of San Francisco, we hit some traffic. So we only had 15 minutes at Goats Rock Beach, which you're going to see in a couple seconds. And don't mind the Fred Durst look I'm rocking. It's because I was super stressed trying to get all the shots. But yeah, we got them in, but they're a little bit dark. So let's go check them out. Alright you guys, so it's been a bit of a journey, but we finally made it to Goats Rock Beach. This is the final scene of the Goonies right here. Now this would have been the parking lot that the Goonies met their parents at the end of the movie. Now, in this shot right here, when Troy's dad is trying to get the contract to Mikey's dad to tear down the Goondocks, you can see this bathroom right behind Troy's dad's head, right here, as well as an ambulance parked right around here.
Let's get this over with.
This right here is also where you can see all the Goonies meeting up with their families.
I'm sorry, Irene.
Come on, Walsh. We don't have all day.
And right here, the ending shot, you can see Willie's pirate ship sailing right through here as the Goonies watch. And this right here would have been where the Goonies were sitting along those rocks in the final scene. Now you can also see the Fratellis walking up the beach right here. At the end of the movie, the thing that gets a lot of screen time here at Goats Rock Beach is the arch, the little hole through the rock. You can see it behind all the characters at the end. I'll throw up a couple shots. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting rock formation. So, interesting production fact about the movie. Key, who plays Data at the end of the movie, says that they had to fight off an octopus. Right here, I'll throw it up.
Happened out there where your life's in danger.
The octopus was fully scary.
Now, they actually ended up cutting that scene from the movie, but you can find it in the deleted scenes on your DVD or Blu-ray if you have a copy. Pretty cool, interesting movie fact, but it has been forever since we have scratched a movie off the poster. So let's get into the movie that we are going to watch this week. Alright you guys, this week's movie is Psycho, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, starring Anthony Perkins and Janet Leigh. This movie has been an inspiration for so many filmmakers over the years. It's a fantastic film, and if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. You will not be disappointed, and if you have, as per usual on the channel, check it out again. It's an awesome movie. Let's see what's under this thing. We're gonna have to go iPhone Vision for this one.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Alright you guys, it's been an absolute blast. That's all I have for you this week, but go out, have yourselves a great week, and I promise I'll be back with you next week. I promise.
You Goonie!